Good morning. Welcome back to Straight Talk
Straight Talk, yes.
with
It's been
Irene Yemba and
Andre Jackson.
yep. Sorry, last week things just didn't go as planned, so we missed you all. Anyway, we are here today. So today we are going to talk about something totally different from our normal way of talking. But guess what? Last night there was a debate. The Republican presidential candidates had a debate. Whether you support them or you don't, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever you are, this is what is happening in our country.
Yes, and there's a lot of things that happen in the country. Now, you know what? I haven't watched TV in so long. I didn't know how to get CNN or Fox on my TV. So I didn't watch it last night, but now I'm watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm like halfway through it, but I thought that was so funny. I really don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't miss it. But
No, I didn't watch it because, you know what, I'll look at the highlights. But the bottom line is, do you allow that to affect your lifestyle? Does it matter who is in the White House? Does it matter who is debating? Bottom line is you need to take off your own house. You cannot depend on the White House or somebody else to control your lifestyle. You have the ability, you have the choices to make, to decide how you're going to take care of yourself and take care of your household. So that is our conversation today. I know this could be a little controversial for other people, whether you agree with us or you don't. This is our perspective.
So yes, so one thing I did do when I turned the age of 18 is I signed up for selective service. I know I had to do that. I don't know if the kids still have to do that now. I don't know. But I had to sign up for selective service and I registered to vote. And I voted in each and every election that came. The only elections I didn't do is when I moved to LA, because I wasn't in town for about a year and a half. I ended up moving back. I voted for president and things like that. I just didn't vote for like mayor. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't there for that. But other than that, I made it the point to vote in each and every election. Why? Because don't come to me complaining and you don't vote, right? Okay?
Right.
So I do pay attention to that. But I've always felt whoever's president in the White House really doesn't affect my lifestyle. It really don't. Why? Because I've always been in some type of business, okay? So I'm blessed to be enough to know about business, to pay attention to laws, pay attention to politics, where I can pivot and make changes, you know what I mean? Where it really doesn't affect my lifestyle. I'll say 95% of the things that happen in the White House does not affect me. Mm-hmm. And if it does, I can make the appropriate change so I can benefit from those changes. And that's what a lot of wealthy people do.
Yep.
They give, right? They have their very own, their ideas.
Right.
You know, why, right? You know, why they want certain people in office and things like that, but when it comes to most people, it really doesn't. It only affects you if you are depending on the government for things, right? Depending on the government for a paycheck, depending on the government, you know what I mean, because you need some help with daycare and things like that. So, and trust me, I've been broke before. Okay, where we struggled very hard. But you know what? I know it was up to me to get me out of it. So I made the appropriate changes so I wasn't depending on the government to do that. Right. So it's just a big difference. So a lot of people are going to talk about a lot of things, whether you do like Trump or not. I do not like Trump personally, and I didn't say he was a bad president. I just don't like him because I grew up in Chicago, and with his casino, I had several conversations with people who they screwed over in business. And one good friend of mine, he ended up closing up his business. but that's personal to me. I didn't like crash and burn when he was president. I actually benefited from it, right? I have a business, so I benefited from it. You know what I mean? I just don't like him personally. So I'm not saying he was a bad president. I don't think there was no bad president where they did a crappy job, where they just screwed up my life. Not one president, whether I agree with them or not.
Yep.
So
let's talk about what does this mean for your family. You can decide that you are going to go out there and help your family create generational wealth, so you are not dependent on like Andre said, this program has been taken away from us, or we are expecting the president to do this or that or that and that. We as individuals, we have choices that we need to make. Is it easy? No, it's not easy, but it's a decision that each and every person has to make in their life to say, okay, what am I bringing to the table? That's the question. Are you just waiting for handouts, or are you someone who says, you know what, I know for some people this is a tough pill to swallow, and for some people they are just not in that position to be able to step out and do certain things.
Or the right mindset.
Yeah, but for those who are capable, the person who really challenged me.
While we're doing a video, they sent me one of these texts saying to vote. I think it was for Tim Scott. So we talking about politics, and they sent me one of those, spam text messages that popped up. Vote for Tim Scott in South Carolina, even though I'm in North Carolina. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought it was funny.
So the person who really challenged me the most was Nick Vujicic. I believe that's his name. This gentleman was born with no arms, no legs, and he never made excuses for failing to do anything. His mom trained him to, if he wanted one of the, I heard him, he spoke at one of our conferences, and he said he wanted something that was way up in their house on top of a bookshelf. And of course he asked his mom to get it for him, and his mom said, no, you go get it yourself. And I mean, how many of us in that position would sulk and cry and throw a temper tantrum? He figured out how to go get it, and that's how his mom raised him. And then he knew he couldn't do anything because he didn't have his arms and legs, but he knew he could speak to people. And he said, one of the things he said is he made phone calls, and the 50th phone call is where they said, okay, you can come talk to us. And then when he explained he didn't have arms and legs, they canceled it. So, but he never gave up. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. If you can Google him and see how successful he has become. He's married, he has kids, and he's a very successful entrepreneur because he decided that he was going to do something, change his life. Just like Andre said, you have to pivot, you have to find something that if you bring anything of value to people, guess what? There are so many opportunities out there. We are not trying to say everyone should get into our industry. This is not for everyone, but there are so many needs out there. You just have to find what need there is and start your own business so that you are not dependent on how the tide is, how inflation is. We all know groceries have gone up, inflation is really high, and waiting for a paycheck is not going to cut it. So guess what? You have to find a way to make extra income. Find a side hustle, start working on it, and before you know it, and don't give up. When things don't go right the first time, don't give up. The challenge is we live in a generation where people want instant results. It doesn't work that way. You have to put in the work. You have to be patient. You have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it until you are successful. So that's all we are saying. We are not talking about being, I mean, the things that are going to happen in the next few weeks to months with the debates. You can spend all your time watching CNN, watching the debates,
and being worried about it.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't agree with that. They're lying. He's lying. Oh, I don't really believe. I mean, here. So, like, this is one example. So, for me, when people talk about climate change is a hoax, okay? I say climate change is real. And the reason why I say it's real, because we have factual data that what we've done has changed climate change. One perfect example is that the ozone layer. Remember in the 90s, they was talking about the ozone layer, right, was being eaten away because some of the things that we were doing. I was working on cars at that time. So what they did is, I know they was worried about hairspray and stuff, okay? So they made those changes. It didn't affect that. People still use their hairspray. With cars, with Freon, was R12 refrigerant that was used, okay? Every year we would just fill it up because it would all leak out. We would just fill it up. It wasn't a big deal. They found out that was part of the problem. So we made changes. We changed it from R12 to, I believe, R34 or 134. It's been a few years since I worked on cars, right? The fittings, we changed the O-rings from the black to a better one. I believe there was like green. Instead of having one O-ring, we did 2 and 3, right? We made changes in the system. And some of the customers, instead of paying $40, $50 to just put Freon in it, they had to pay maybe $1,500, almost $2,000 to change over their system. So it cost some people money. But at the end of the day, we fixed it. And the ozone layer is reversed. So when people say climate change is unreal, there's a fact ozone layer. So there was a problem, right? We made changes and we cured it, okay? So, but I'm not gonna get, well, what about this, what about that? I'm just telling you my example of what I did. So I really don't worry about climate change. Yes, we need to make changes, but we have it within us, if things get really, really bad, to make some harsh changes with over the next few years and get it reversed. But I don't think it's a big deal to fight and screw up my whole life and be so upset about. Because when it comes down to it, I'm going to say this real quick, then we'll be done. I'm blessed enough to have gotten in a business that is flexible, okay? That is recession proof, okay? So, and it's recession proof, right? Because when things go bad, right? When things go bad with COVID, people was buying more life insurance.
Right.
Okay? When the economy was bad, right? There hasn't been a recession yet. The economy sort of been bad, right? But in 2020, it got bad. People moved over their 401ks. Okay? We was an essential business. So even though technically our doors was open, we wasn't here much. We just did everything through Zoom. Okay? We worried about taxes. Yes, Trump lowered taxes. Okay, so it lowered taxes for a lot of people, and that's great. But now, eventually, taxes will go up. But because of our industry, we can show people how to grow their money tax-free and take it out tax-free income. We don't have to worry about taxes. See, so many things within our industry, what we doing, we can pivot and move. Well, whatever, even a lockdown really didn't affect us. Actually, business got better during the lockdown. When it comes to us, because of how our company is structured, we didn't stop. We kept going. And people that work with us, or even our clients, was able to pivot and make changes within their life, changes within their finances, where whatever was happening around the world, what happening in your city and in your country really didn't affect them much. Right. So the ideal is, okay, you need to be a little fluid with what you do. Right. Whatever business you are in, right? If you're selling gym shoes, okay, great. Right now, people have some money, so you can sell some gym shoes. When people is handing out free money, sell some Nikes, sell some Yeezys, right? When money is tight, sell some gym shoes for $10, right? Don't complain, just make changes so that you can survive, so you can continue to live your lifestyle. And I think that's one important thing that you have to worry about. It doesn't matter what they do in the White House, you need to worry about your house.
Exactly.
So.
Just to summarize, we have noticed that restaurants, of course, during COVID they had to shut down, but they opened, and most of them are just doing carry out. That's what we are talking about, pivoting, adapting to the circumstance that you're in. We had one of the agents at that time, he owned a barber shop. Guess what? They had to close, but he decided to be on the road. He went to his clients' homes to continue servicing them, because people still need those services. So it's just learning, keeping up with the times and keeping up with what's happening and finding ways to continue running your business, continue offering the services that you have been offering, rather than just sit back and say, well, I can't do this because the government or because of the political climate. You have to pivot, you have to adapt to what's happening. So that's it from us, Straight Talk. So again, tune in, same time,
same channel, like, comment, subscribe. All right, everybody, you have a great day. Bye-bye.